we've been selling mutes for a very long time, and I designed my first mutes way back in 1969. But there's always room to do something new. And when you've got a player the caliber of this guy, and I mean, come on, how many Euphonium players on the planet are there of this level? And, well, I think you could count on the fingers of one thumb. And for someone that will put the time in and give us the expertise, there's a possibility to do something new. And we've done it. And this practice mute is more than a practice mute. It's a mute that sits in the bell and can be carried around in the instrument, in the case. And it does all those things that every player needs to do. In order to play well, you've got to keep in shape, and there's always the feeling that there's a bit more practice to be done. And Steven knows this more than anybody.
Yeah, I've been traveling, Dennis, for many years, and so a mute where I can practice pretty much wherever I am. Not just in hotels, but sometimes in car parks, and most importantly, just before you go on stage. There are so many occasions where I've been warming up, and you can hear the orchestra or the band as clear as day through the wall, and so you know that if you can hear them,
they can hear you.
And those 20 minutes, sometimes all you want to do is just play, not just, but play freely.
Yes.
Yeah. And of course I have hundreds of students around the world, many of whom are living in apartment blocks, and they tell me, I can only practice until 6 p.m. And so this is going to be for so many thousands of players to benefit from. And we've spent a long time developing this, because any in-bell mute is fraught with problems.
Yes.
And it looks such a simple thing to have.
Then you've got to get it exactly right. And as we both know, it's taken several months to get it right. And it works.
And it's very beautiful too.
Yes.
So it sits inside the bell, so even if you've got a hard-fitting case, it's not going to protrude. It fits in every euphonium bell that's out there. We did lots of tests on different brands. And it's very quiet. It's a nice mute to play. It doesn't sound like really tight, lots of resistance like some of these mutes do. So it sounds very quiet. I wish I could make it play very loud, but then it wouldn't be the silent treble mute that we've been saying we've developed. And the lovely thing for me, I mean, none of these mutes are absolutely in tune, but by far this is the most successful I think you could even imagine for this kind of mute.
And of course it has the additional benefit that if you practice very loudly in the low register, it forces open the throat spaces.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's not just a trouble avoidance mute,
It has a very positive.
It's absolutely, because all the air spaces which naturally close up the tension or bad style, bad practice. A resistance mute. Even doing that for 10 seconds, you feel the benefit immediately. All the airways are more open. Makes for a bigger tone, not just in that register, but throughout.
Yes,
increases
right.
airflow, increases the ability to control.
Yes. I can still remember, I haven't played professionally for 23 years now, but my body still remembers those techniques of opening the throat as you breathe in. And I've got quite a low speaking voice, but if I show you this trick, it actually makes the voice go down. So if I do this, it makes the pitch of my voice go down another fifth, and you can actually hear the difference.
Extraordinary, yeah.
That's a lovely place.
Yeah. I'll try that off camera, but I'm sure it won't. Yeah. So I'm delighted with it, and the thing is only 200 grams. With some mutes, if they fit inside the bell, you walk around, you can feel it when you carry
Yes.
it. And so I think we've got the design really nice. It's very beautiful. We've got it in red. It's got this very high quality neoprene, which means that once it's in,
it stays in.
It doesn't. Yeah, and we've calculated the gap here very precisely.
Yes. On the time we spent on getting that right.
Yeah, and getting the shape right. And obviously there's a strap to pull it out because, well, we could do it without, and of course it's just so much easier. And as I say, I'm going to take it on tour with me starting this week. And I know that everywhere I go and put this down, people are going to say, "What is that the new?" Yes. Where can we go? So I'm thrilled about it. And the thing is, it's just going to help so many people. Not only to practice, at times and in places where otherwise they would have a problem, but I think it, as you say, it really develops playing too. So we call it a travel mute, but it's much more than that. It's a silent mute. It's a tone building mute, tone stabilizer, air support mute. You wouldn't want to play it in a band performance where you need a mute, to play fortissimo. But we've got lots of mutes out there.
Of course.
So it's.
And they don't need to reside in the bell.
Exactly. Yeah. So it ticks so many boxes, and thank you for your.
Well, thank you for helping us. I think this is the only way that a company like mine can work, by using the best people as in cooperation in design. That's what we've done all the way through, and we always will.
That was very nice. Flowed beautifully.